from Los Angeles this morning. Wake-up call, tough night for Drake Maye.
Seahawks! The Seahawks defense, they have done it again!
So the Patriots opened it up a bit in the fourth quarter. The final box score numbers really do not tell the story of how bad a night it was for Drake Maye, the runner-up for MVP. 3 turnovers, 6 sacks, a total QBR of 16, the worst in any start of his young 2-year career. We have a huge cast with us this morning. Schrager and Shefty jump into the conversation with us here. And Shefty, you were making the comment as we were looking through some of the highlights. So much of what Seattle did last night came from that Russell Wilson trade. That trade winds up being something that really jumpstarts this franchise to a championship.
Russell Wilson helped them win their first Super Bowl, and he helped them win their second Super Bowl, too.
Yeah.
Because in that trade for Russell Wilson, they got Devin Witherspoon, they got Boye Mafe, and they got their left tackle, Charles Cross, not to mention other parts as well. Here are some of the pieces that they got in that particular trade, including Derek Hall, who played an active role last night. That one trade swung around the franchise. And you're right, Teddy, it comes back to the general manager, John Schneider,
Well done.
who
Well done.
Some people questioned that at the time. Do you trade a franchise quarterback like Russell Wilson? He knew exactly what he was doing, and that has helped this team return to prominence.
Schrager, the defense for Seattle last night, sort of the legendary stuff, right? One of those performances. We talk about some of the great defenses we've ever seen in these Super Bowls. This one goes right with it.
Yes, absolutely. We think about the Buccaneers having 3 pick sixes in a Super Bowl in 2002. And, of course, we know the 2000 Ravens and the Steel Curtain. 3 quarters through that game, they were pitching a shutout for 95 yards. All garbage yards. I mean, a couple deep passes that got them into this game. This defensive performance and how they dominated the weakness of the New England Patriots.
So, Dan, that's what I want to get into here. Again, you were not watching with us, and I kept asking these guys, is there nothing they can try? It felt to me, and Teddy, I will let you say it because you were the one who kept saying it. They just kept going into drop-back passing. They just kept dropping deep drops. It did not look to me, again, to my less educated eye than you guys, obviously, like they really tried to change a whole lot while they were just getting the ever-living stuffing kicked out of them.
Just as a defensive player, I mean, when I can just drop, your quarterback's in the shotgun, you got 4 guys that are going to put pressure on you, and you know they can't block you up front defensively, you have a huge advantage. I mean, Dan, I was saying to myself, I mean, little hurry up, move the pocket, get May running. These are the things that we're all talking about because Drake was obviously just prey back there for a defense.
Yeah, they tried a bootleg one time. Seattle was all over it. I think the thing that happens is, remember last year's Super Bowl? It felt like Mike Tyson. It was just this knockout punch from Philly's defense against Kansas City. This was almost like watching the walls close in. There was just nothing that you can do. It was this suffocating element. And I think what happened with Josh McDaniels in New England was, instead of, Josh is one of the great sequencers in the NFL. He calls this play to set up this play, this play to set up this play, so he's always on the attack. Immediately he got on the defensive. It was this very defensive style of play calling. It was this careful style of play calling. And part of me understands it. We were talking about it. Going into the game, margin of error for New England is small. Yeah. Can our defense create a turnover for a short field like they did against Denver in the AFC
special
title
teams
game?
touchdown.
Yeah, that was going to be their way for win. Yeah, and I think what happened was Drake started to get hit early on, pressured early on, and then Drake started to hesitate. He started to play slow. He started to see things that weren't there. And then this defense then became hyenas. It was let's attack, because then they can't do anything. There were throws there. Not a ton, but there were throws there.
Yeah, there was some where it was like, that's 3-4 seconds, man. Get rid of the football.
Correct. Yeah. And it was just this holding on to the football because the worry to make a mistake, the worry to have the avalanche start with this defense.
I think the walls coming in comments you had there on his pick, literally, the walls coming in, and you start to feel it, and then you just.
Well, last year it was just this knockout punch right.
But it was also accumulation of 4 weeks of this. I mean, he got sacked 6 times last night, but if you look at over the playoffs, 21 times he was sacked during these playoffs. So you go wild card round, got the snot kicked out of him, they win. Divisional round, snot kicked out of him, they win. AFC Championship game, same thing, they win. Eventually, you can't win getting sacked like this game after game after game. And I'll say, to not find an adjustment, that's fine. But to also assume that, hey, Drake Maye's going to be back next year, it's fine. You don't know that in this league.
You don't
There's so many young
absolutely
court, Dan
don't know.
Marino,
You
Cam
absolutely
Newton,
don't know.
Kaepernick, all these guys. It's not so easy just to get back in there. Last night they missed an
I
opportunity.
kept saying to Teddy, what do the Patriots have to do in the offseason? And to me, that focus needs to be in that offensive line. I know they went there in the draft last year, but Will Campbell didn't hold up at left tackle last night and struggled in the postseason.
Right.
They've got some question marks that they're going to have to answer along that offensive line. I know people also talked about Drake Maye's shoulder. The fact that he said after the game he shot it up, it wasn't a factor. Listen, that Seattle defense.
Yeah, any excuse
overwhelmed
that
them.
I think you see, I haven't brought up that shoulder once because it just takes away from Seattle and how good that they are, and I don't know if it would have mattered. Okay,
Correct.
in that game, how it played out, I think that's what the Patriots thought it was going to be. That 3, that 6. Okay, we're getting the red area stops. Good. No touchdowns yet. No touchdowns. But we needed the one play. All right. They needed that one play from Sam Darnold. That was the possible interception, but Sam wouldn't give it to him.
Correct.
Sam played too well. The kickers played too well. The defense played too well. That's why they're world champions. Yeah.
And the only team that belonged on the field with Seattle this year was the LA Rams.
Last week.
Okay, so this New England offense just wasn't the same type of opponent for Seattle. And there's a lot of discourse about the MVP and Stafford and Drake Maye. This wasn't about just Drake Maye last
You're
night.
talking from a talent level. You're saying that the
Correct.
Rams are the only team that deserve to be on the.
We have to be disappointed. We have to be upset, but we have to be those things together. It can't be a divided. We can't be front runners. Can't be a good teammate, and you can't care about the team and do the right things when you win. Sometimes in this game of professional football, you lose, and you still have to be able to do those things, and hopefully they will.
It's a business at this level, but it's more than that. It's more than that. In a game like this, and I think that's about it. It's more than a business. There's people in there that are doing it, not for the money or the fame, and that's what's cool about this team.
Also cool about this team, 3-14 in his rookie season, 14-3 in the regular season, in just his second campaign, 23-year-old starter for the Patriots. Damian, fill in the blank right here. The Patriots were blank on Sunday.
Mollywopped. They were absolutely mollywopped yesterday. I mean, listen, you're talking about a team that finished side held up its end in the bargain, but clearly the Seattle Seahawks were playing at a different speed and veracity than that Patriots offense. They could never get their footing. They couldn't run the ball. Then the Seattle Seahawks turned up the pressure, and then came the turnovers. And so credit to the Seattle Seahawks and the personnel, the coaching that they have. They just completely overwhelmed the Patriots.
They were overmatched. They
Nicer
took
way to say
they took a shellacking. Yeah. But even with all that being said, when you listen to their head coach, Coach Grable speak, he is a fan. They were overmatched. Look, I said it earlier in the week. Seattle had a better football team.
Sure.
Let's just make that perfectly clear. Seattle's a better football team than the New England Patriots going into this game. A lot of things had to happen for the Patriots. Sam Darnold needed to turn the ball over. He was shaky early, almost had some turnovers, but then he settled down. The run game of Seattle got him settled down, but the defense was just too much to bear for New England.
Damian, I want to go back to you. How do you? I know a Super Bowl loss stings for sure, but they go from 4-13 last year to 14-3 this year. How do you put into perspective what they were able to accomplish here in their first year under Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the emotions are going to run high and it's going to sting, but ultimately this was a very successful year one under Mike Vrabel. I mean, think about it. The Patriots had finished 4-13 back-to-back years, and then in comes Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, and they were able to flip this thing on top of its head. Winning the AFC East, obviously having the second youngest quarterback to play in the Super Bowl, only behind Dan Marino. And so, yeah, while this hurts, there's a lot of things to be encouraged and excited about if you're a New England Patriots fan.
Moving in the right direction, to be sure. Drake Maye, last night, the QBR of just 16 in that loss, and it's because